Hello, this is Tim Hellman.
And I am Jake Tenpass.
And this is Movie Talk. Today we're going to review the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is the sequel to Captain America: The First Avenger, and the 9th installment in the Avengers film franchise. Picks up 2 years after the end of the Avengers movie, with Steve Rogers working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and living in Washington, D.C., when he discovers a terrorist plot from inside the agency. He has to team up with Black Widow and the new ally called Falcon. The movie was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. It was written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, who also co-wrote the first one. What did you think of the movie?
I think it was the best solo Avengers movie since the original Iron Man. I thought it was a really well-scripted, tight little thriller.
Political thriller.
Yeah.
Commentary on the drone strikes.
Oh my God. The whole movie is a commentary for where America's at right now. I mean, for a movie called Captain America, it's a pretty harsh and good critique of what's going on with America right now.
But it has a lot of criticism.
Yeah, anti the current state of American affairs right now. I mean, it definitely addresses drone strikes. Well, I mean, America is doing surveillance on its own citizens.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It takes on the idea of killing innocent people without any kind of a trial. It also takes on the idea that people who say that they're doing something in the name of freedom are actually doing something that people who have been patriots throughout America's history would look at and think of as absolutely un-American.
Yeah, that's the point of view it takes through Captain America.
I think it's a great device for I mean, they say that science fiction and fantasy movies serve the purpose of critiquing the current state of affairs by transporting us out of the current state of affairs. And obviously Captain America serves as a great filter because he's somebody from the past who, when he's transposed with the present, provides a really interesting lens for viewing what's wrong with the way that we're governing ourselves right now and the way that we're governing others overseas.
Mm-hmm. The things that are wrong aren't Democrat or Republican, because we both get the same things wrong there, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I definitely don't think it's a liberal conservative issue. I think, I mean, to me, Nick Fury in it becomes sort of a symbol for Obama because, in a way, he's a character who seems to be trying to do the right thing, and yet at the same time also seems willing to do things that are ethically questionable in the pursuit of what he views as right. And I kind of like the idea that Nick Fury then becomes a victim of his own beliefs or his own methodology for achieving his ends.
Actually, yeah, I had the same thought that he was like Obama kind of in that way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, I basically liked the first Captain America, although I didn't feel like Captain America was a very interesting character in the first movie. I felt like he became a more interesting character in Avengers because he has to attempt to discern what it is to be a leader. How do you bring all these disparate personalities and egos together in a team? And it forced him to sort of just become not like this, very patriotic, very nice guy who also happens to get really buff, by having him become a symbol of this sort of what you would think of as like an outdated way of thinking. And yet at the same time, what they're saying is that what some people call outdated are really some true, very old school values that I think people from both the right and the left try to cite in pursuit of their own goals, but obviously both of them seem to sort of fail in them a lot of times in modern life. I also thought it was just a really well done,
action movie.
Yeah, it's a really well done, taut action thriller, as opposed to, I felt like Iron Man 3 was just absurd. And I mean, while there is great CGI in this movie, it's definitely much more about the human element.
But it is light on CGI for a Marvel Avengers movie.
Sure.
It's old school action, more like fast cuts, which is kind of new, but a lot of gunplay and choreographed fight scenes and not as much CGI, really.
Well, and I mean, one of the best action sequences in the movie to me is the one where Nick Fury is attacked in his car.
That was my favorite scene.
And I just feel like that could have been in a Bourne Identity movie or something like that.
So good.
Robert Redford adds a lot of depth to it with his character. If you go back in time and look at World War II and you think that the reason we fought the Nazis is because of the way that they treated their people, the way that they treated elements of society that were dissidents within their own culture, and we fought them for that reason, but yet at the same time now in America we persecute dissidents in some ways the same way, it becomes a really interesting critique of saying, like, yeah, we fought the Nazis, but now there are elements of Nazi ideology that are a part of the U.S. government, and how do you come to terms with that?
It was an interesting analyzation on how we all justify our own means for achieving similar goals, but we just go about it in different ways and compromise in different ways.
I liked that they brought Black Widow back. I found it a little strange that there was no Hawkeye in the movie.
I know.
Considering Hawkeye is like part of S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
And all the other Avengers, it's like weird that why aren't they there when a mutual friend was killed.
And I really felt like that actually watching Thor 2. I really felt like, where are the other Avengers? I think it was a credit to this movie that the action was fast-paced enough and the situation that was developing was interesting enough that I didn't find myself thinking about that quite so much.
I did still a little bit.
If we're talking about a 5-star rating, I think I'd give Captain America the Winter Soldier 4.5 stars. I felt like really that it's what a superhero comic book espionage political action thriller should be. I didn't really
almost perfect on that level, you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like it was, I feel like it was pretty darn close. And again, I mean, to me, it's definitely one of the top 3 Avengers movies out of those 9. I mean, it's Avengers is my favorite, and then probably that and Iron Man, I would say, round that out.
So I'd go 5 stars. I think it's definitely the movie to see so far this year for me.
Except for perhaps Noah, which maybe we'll be reviewing very shortly.